Greetings, everyone. This is Bishop Victor Palana, the Bishop of Klerksdorp. And like everyone else, I'm concerned about the spate of killings, women abductions taking place in our country, in our towns. And I want to acknowledge the work that is done by Justice and Peace in this line, working with men, inviting them to take a stand against violence against women and children, appealing to people's conscience to come and work together as communities to combat this evil.
Gender-based violence, like with the studies or the research that has been made, our approach is to say, because alcohol consumption is a good thing, that's our position. Not like too much, with particular responsibilities attached to it. So every time there is alcohol, there and there, so we don't know what is happening. It stretches to the family. So in a family, to our understanding, it should be a place of life, not a place of devastation, or not a place of death, or not a place of humiliation or suffering. It has to be a place where everyone feels safe, family.
Anyway, my brother, because I was part of this project since last year until now. Okay, let me speak onto my own side, because I was not abusive as such, but I was aggressive. There's difference between aggressive and abusive. But now, because now, whenever I go, even when I'm going for enjoyment, I'm going with my fiance, so I've seen many changes in my life.
I think it's a good thing for we as men to take care of our elderly and our wives and our children. By spreading the news of abuse of children, old women and children.
In the near future, when you address this thing of men peacemakers, it must be advertised on the TV and also on the media, so that many people they can attend these sessions. Because now, if we go around in the area and the neighboring areas and we talk about these things, people they will change.
I would like to do that, and I would like the whole South Africa to know that, especially as we men. We always, when we come from work, we go somewhere else. We leave our children, elderly, at home. When we come back, they are raped, they are being killed. And then it's too late for us to cry, but it's also our fault. Every person, I think, should do what we have to do as men in a stand-up, not waiting for the government to do what we don't want to do, like sending policemen, and no, we have to do it ourselves because we have CPF, Community Policing Forum. We must engage in those things to make sure that our houses, our children, our schools, everything that we have, clinics, hospitals, are safe. Even though we strike in dignity.
I first got involved in gender-based violence in 2017, to be correct. It was introduced by Men for Justice and Peace. I would like to say it is a very cool thing, and the assistance that I'm getting from it is that we are enlightening. We are teaching the community members and the patrons as well in terms of behavior. What is it that they need to do? What is it that they need not to do? Because basically, I would say we are not only focusing on the revenue that we are generating, so we are, in a sense, giving back to the community as well.
This notion as society, you go TV and try to emulate bad things. They do on TV, not looking into positive things. And I'm not totally against anyone who is drinking. But if we were to vote on a petition, the Taverns, you can see how many hands are going to raise up there. And if you got that petition now, not many hands are going to go up. You understand? Generation. We need first to go back to the drawing board and say, as a society. What kind of human beings are we?
We realize that there is what we can call a compassion deficit in our communities when we realize the cruelty that is manifested in these killings and rapes. And we are calling upon men to take a stand, not to leave it to government or to the police or to women, but that men in a special way take a stand to say no to violence, not in my name. And acknowledging the work of justice and peace, calling on men to take a stand against violence, against alcohol abuse, against drugs that have really affected so many lives. And as a church, we are appealing to the Ubuntu values to come back, where we realize that when you hurt somebody, all of us get hurt. That we work together to combat and to defend and to protect lives. Because now we cannot allow this culture of death. We call on also churches and governments to step in to make people aware of this evil and do everything in our power to stop it. We are looking, for example, at the judicial system of our country to say that perhaps we do need to give stiffer sentences that will really send a message across to the nation that this is not acceptable and this cannot be tolerated. We call upon all those who are involved in rehabilitation that we make a special effort to rehabilitate these offenders so that even if they come out of prison, they can come back as better human beings. We are also working to bring this awareness into communities, into taverns, working with men, appealing to them to say, do not do violence, do not rape, do not commit crimes. And we are happy to see that a lot of men are listening and they are ready and willing to be part of this endeavor. But we are still appealing to more men to come forward and to work with Justice and Peace and all other initiatives and campaigns to take a stand together to fight this evil, to send a message to young boys to say that it is not a cool thing to beat up a girl or to force yourself on anyone.
I would put it like this. You see, when you bring change into someone, it takes time because it's a new thing that hasn't been done before. So slowly but surely, it's gaining the momentum. Hence, I feel that if it could be held on a regular basis, then there will be progress. So on the note of the general behavior as such, it's getting there. I'm not saying we are 100% or 60%, but you can see and you can tell that there is some sort of change. People are listening and people are understanding in terms of the project.
We used to quarrel like a lot. We used to have our differences, but verbally, not physically. After he participated in this program, I started to see things change slowly. What is changed in my life now is that now we are trying to live peacefully, to love one another, especially in front of our children. We try to raise our kids in a loving, respected home. I think Mostly men should be taught. They must be taught, and they must engage and share ideas. And this violence must stop. Honestly, from my point of view, this violence must stop. We must raise our children in a peaceful society so that they become a good persons when they grow up. Yeah, they must be taught. These guys, they must engage. They must talk. At the Shebins, it's fine. They can talk while they are drinking. I don't have a problem with they are drinking, but they must not. They must just know that this thing, it must come to an end so that we can have a peaceful society, because of we are raising children around us. And the people like to say the experience is the best teacher. What we see is what we are being taught. I would like these sessions at the time to continue, and we must not only involve the people who are drinking. Even the priests, they must come. The people who are not drinking, they must be invited, because of it's not only people who are drunkards who abuses their wives. Even the people who are not drinking, who are not under any influence, they can still be violent. So they need to be taught, these people, how to cherish and how to love their wives. Violence must really stop.
I'm working with people, and these people are coming to my place always. They come and drink. When they're drinking, I tell them always that they mustn't fight, because this place is not a fighting place. It's the place that you can enjoy it, not to fight. And before you can come to the tavern, you must also respect your wife, your children, actually your family. And then you must give them food and everything, so that they must be always on a good side. Then you can come and drink. Since I joined Justice of Peace, I think it was better, because those people, they've given me something to tell the people that they must be good and what, because I trust Justice and Peace, because they tell me very good things to how to treat the people when they are drinking. It's not to say that the beer, the liquor they are drinking is poison. It's not poison, but you can use your sense when you drink. And I've got something like 4 years with those people now, until now. They've given me something very good to advise me in my place.
I would say to the other businesses and the other taverns as well, that the owners must also start partaking in this program, as it's going to help them and help the community around them. We should not only focus on making money or being only interested that we are filling our places with people who are uninformed. So we need to also take a step forward, start getting involved in this program, so that people should be involved, people should change the attitude, the mentality, so that at the end of the day, the word should be spread into the whole community at large.
You must be very strictly to your customers. Tell your customers that you don't want bad things in the place, because this place is an enjoying place, not a place to fight. You must always respect your place and protect your place. Please help us. We must protect our children, protect them so that anybody must be killed. So protect the place so that you must be always in a good side. Yes, there is a lot of changes to the men since you people were giving us advice. Many people when I come here, especially men, they are very good enough. They change because their behavior, they are better than before. You know, before it was very bad, but now, in this time, they are very much more better. At their homes, at their place, for their families, and to my place also. So they always say that you are going to Sister Zulu's place because Sister Zulu's place is very good. That woman is a very good woman, because he can tell us, he can sit down with us and talk something better than before.
I would say there is a lot of changes in terms of the behavior, and the men in particular, They have started changing the behavior at home as well as around my place. I would say that is how the program is benefiting me as the tavern owner and the community as well.
We are appealing also to women to speak out, that when an evil and injustice has been done, do not keep it to yourself. You have every right to speak out, and you have every right to be heard, and your matter has to be taken seriously, and we as Justice and Peace are going to make a follow-up that justice is done. And I want to acknowledge what has been done already with Justice and Peace going to courts to put up a strong message to the perpetrators to say, you cannot continue doing this in our community. We are not going to allow it. And to say to the courts, do what is right. Let justice be done for the victims. And also to acknowledge Justice and Peace going to the homes of victims to support them, being there, listening to their stories. Because through this listening, they are actually helping them to unburden. And that becomes part of their healing, because now they are able to speak out and to share their pain. And we are there to listen to their pain. We are there to journey with them. We might not change the past, but we can actually make a difference in the future. But this is a community effort. We have to join hands and work together and restore dignity, human dignity, restore the rights of people. People have a right to live. People have a right to say no. People have a right to live. They have a right to life. And you do not have the right to take anyone's life. You do not have a right to rape or to abuse another. We are taking a stand to say, as church, we are going to continue to preach this message, and we want the communities to be part of us and to work with us to change this situation so that there can be peace, there can be harmony, people can live together, children can be free to run around and to play without fear, the fear of being abducted, the fear of being killed. We cannot build a nation in this way. We want love, we want peace. But above all, at this point in time, we want justice for victims. Let us take a stand and work together, especially as men. Thank you very much.